Hello, welcome to the first video in I'm not sure if it will be a short series or a long series. Today we are checking out a blockchain framework, or you would call it a blockchain software development kit called Substrate. How I got to try out Substrate was that I have a background in Go development, and I'm trying out my hand at Rust. For a while, it's been like I've used Rust for like 3 years, not professionally, but in my personal projects and stuff. So in Go, there's a framework called Cosmos. It's a software development kit too, but Rust is being sold as the language is like the most used language in the blockchain ecosystem. And for most of for the work I've been doing in Rust, usually you get Web3 related projects, and for me that's something I haven't tried out. So uh, Substrate looks like a perfect match to try out blockchain development. First of all, I would like to say that in this series, it assumes a prior knowledge of Rust. In case there'll be code that will be tinkering with, it will be mostly Rust. Okay. So what is Substrate? It's the blockchain framework for multi-chain feature. That's what is on the landing page. Substrate enables developers to quickly and easily build future-proof blockchains and optimize for any use case. Okay. Why does Substrate exist? I know Gavin Wood is was a he wrote the yellow paper for Ethereum. He was on I think it's a core team, and I don't know if it's called a core team, but he was one of the first. He's Ethereum's co-founder, and he's the pioneer of this. First of all, he started with Polkadot, and then he got around to Substrate. Polkadot is it's like an interchain third party. Okay, I won't go into it, but this guy has a lot of knowledge in this space, and I've listened to some of his talks. I'll link them down in the description. Okay, so Substrate-based chains are designed to seamlessly connect to Polkadot, granting access to its system in parallel transaction, cross-chain transfer, and an expanding support network. We'll talk about Polkadot in a separate video, but what you should know is that Substrate is purely okay, we have Vue.js for front-end development, and we also have React for front-end development and stuff. Think of Substrate as a Vue.js for blockchain development. Okay, or React if you do React. I think we'll go to the start coding section, and we'll go to the tutorials. And so what I've done here in my local machine, I have already pre-built the node template. Took a while, and for some reason my fans started kicking, and I thought okay, they're still running. I can still hear the fans, but it's okay. The reason why I did pre-build it here at the top. The reason why I pre-built it was because it was taking a while, and I didn't want this video to go beyond to be a long video, just a short one. So it has already been pre-compiled. Okay, let's go to build a blockchain, build a local blockchain. Okay, a blockchain consists of decentralized computers called nodes to form a network. Okay, a node is like a client on the internet. Like there are many clients that are there within just a single network. So what you're building is a local blockchain and a single node. Okay, so I've followed these instructions and I've cargo built my node. Let's start the local node using the dev runtime argument. What that does essentially is ensures that you have a clean working tree. Okay, it garbage collects the state of the chain. Is it chain? Yeah, it garbage collects all that data such that whenever you rerun, when you're building your blockchain, and you have a node, you might perhaps want every time you rerun when you rerun the node on your local network, you might want to effect some changes that do not require the previous state. So that's essentially what the dev option does. Let me copy and paste that directly. We have our blockchain running, or a node running on the network. Okay, before we move on, I think we should perhaps go through these logs. Before we do that, let me read what's said here. If the number after finalized is increasing, this is the number, assuming it's 1. Ours is 0, 0, 1, 2. Okay. If the number is increasing, your blockchain is producing new blocks and reaching consensus about the state they describe. Essentially, blocks are being finalized and added to the chain after having reached consensus. Okay. Okay, there's not much information here, so we might as well try to look at it ourselves. So okay, Substrate node, okay, version 4.00. This is the version of the node code we are using. Okay, chain specification, it's a development chain. Node name, this is randomized. Role, authority, database, rocksdb. Okay, let's check rocksdb. I would say that for depending on the use case of your chain of the chain you are writing, we can swap rocksdb with something else. I'm sure that's it's configurable. So that's something that we can do later when you are actually developing our own chain and not using this pre-built one. But it's interesting to look at the options that are used by maybe a use case might require something different, but your use case might require something different. But for this template, we are using persistent key value store. rocksdb is embeddable. Okay, so rocksdb is our database. The next thing, we have a runtime. This runtime is is written by the authors of the node. Okay. Initializing Genesis block. Now we have a state and we have a header hash. Okay. Loading grandpa authority. Grandpa authority goes fast attack. Default protocol IDs, so because none is configured. Local node identity, so this is the identifier for the node. Operating system, CPU, highest known block, Prometheus exporter. Prometheus is it's a observability and metrics tool where you can ship your stats and information, and it will provide a map, a graph, and stuff like that. Like, it's basically monitoring. It's a monitoring solution. And we have a HTTP server and our WebSocket server. This is what our front end interacts with. Yeah, this is how we interact with the node. Okay. Accepting a new connection. Okay. Blah 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 blah. Okay. So the next part is actually to try out our front-end template. What I've done already is I've cloned it locally, I've done the installation, I've even started it, but I would like to show you how I did it, what happens, or what information I get. Okay, I should do is it yarn start? Yes, yarn start. Okay, I'm not in the right. It's called what is it called? Substrate front end. No, front end. Okay, I should do yarn start. Okay. Tada. Now we have our complete node, and we can interact with it via this front-end template. Okay, we've already started the template. So let's try this example. Now that you have a blockchain node running on your local computer and you have a front-end template available for performing on-chain operations, you are ready to explore different ways to interact with the blockchain. By default, the front-end template includes several components that allow you to try different command tasks. For this tutorial, you can perform a simple transfer operation that moves funds from one account to another. Okay, so let's check. We're using Dave as an example, but they're using Dave as an example, but let's use Charlie. So let's transfer to Charlie from Alice to Charlie. I think I can I do this? And then the amount I want to transfer is like okay, this guy has a, I don't know what, that's beyond a billion, so let's give him 1,000,000. 1 2 3 1 2 3. Will that work? Yes. Charlie's balance has been updated and he's received 1,000,000, but the current transaction status is in block. Will it change? Yes, it has been finalized after okay, let's check what has happened. These are the events that have happened. Balances endowed. Okay, this is Charlie. Free. Okay. Dispatch, wait, rough time, prof size, class, fee paid. I think we read the events from top to bottom. I'm not sure. Then from this is the address of 5GR. 5GR is the address of Alice. From Alice's address, and then this is the address of Charlie. From Alice to Charlie, we transfer 1,000,000 credits. Is it credits? 1,000,000. I don't know what unit of measurement, but it's 1,000,000. Then balances withdraw. Balances withdraw. Okay. I think this is a simple example you can understand. We have our transfer section, and we have our balances. Up at the top, we have the data about our substrate node. This is something that is we can look at here. I think we say that the node information, let's check. We say that the node information, it's the 4 point blah 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 dev. Okay, 4 points. Yeah, it's basically the information about our running node. I think this is the end of our video. We'll look the next part we might look at. Okay, we have a network and we have a single node. That node is just there are no other nodes in the network. It's a blockchain, but it's a single node. From these tutorials, I see that there is a way to add more nodes to the. Okay, I'm not sure. Anyway, I hope it's been fun. We haven't done any coding. It has only been trying out the pre-built examples, and that has been wonderful. And okay, I think that comes to the end of our video. See you guys the next time I try adding a node adding another node to the network. I think that will be the goal for the next part of the video. Then on that through, we'll check on how to tinker with the node itself. Like, I see we can where was it? Build application logic. Like having instead of using the pre-built node, we can maybe write our own node for the network and improve our knowledge from there. I think that would be wonderful. Okay guys, see you in the next one.